Hey, good morning, everybody. The drug I chose to research for this project is heroin. We see it a lot in the field, unfortunately. We deal with a lot of overdoses from opioids. Heroin is classified as an illicit opioid analgesic. Say that 5 times fast. Common routes that you will see heroin used in would be injection, which would be inserting a needle into the vein. And common signs that you will see for that would be what's called track marks. That's usually scar tissue or bruising along common vein sites in the body. And once they use that vein and have too much scar tissue there, they will go to another vein and so on and so forth. I've seen really bad cases of that. Excuse me. Another common use, route of heroin would be snorting it or smoking it. Heroin has a weird effect on the body because of how quickly it metabolizes in our body. It crosses the blood-brain barrier in our brains really quickly, giving the user a almost euphoric high, and it becomes so addictive that they start needing more and more and more until it leads to overdose. Effects that it has besides that is that it's a powerful pain reliever and induces relaxation. It's also a depressant, so it depresses your respiratory and your cardiac systems, causing the respiratory rate to slow, your heart rate to slow, and really just brings your body into that relaxation state that some users might be looking for. In an overdose with heroin, you will commonly see the respiratory drive be very slow or non-existent at all. You will also see what they call cyanosis, which is blueness around their skin. Sometimes their faces are blue. Usually they will have pinpoint pupils. And if it gets to the point where they haven't gotten help past those stages, it eventually will lead to a cardiac arrest, which is death or even coma in some patients because their brain hasn't had oxygen for so long. Luckily for us in the field, we have a couple of tools to help override heroin. We have a drug called Narcan that we usually give. Narcan's such a cool drug. We can give it in the nose, we can give it in an IV if that's something that we can get. We also can give it in the muscle in an injection. We also have the ability to breathe for the patient. So we have a thing called a bag valve mask, and we hook that up to oxygen, and we essentially take over the respiratory drive for the patient until they're able to wake up and breathe on their own. Withdrawal from heroin is essentially like a really bad flu. Like, you will get muscle and bone aches, you'll have sweating and chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, anxiety, insomnia, and really intense cravings because your body is going without that powerful drug. Something that I found interesting about heroin was that it was originally synthesized in 1800, and it was marketed by Bayer, and everybody knows Bayer because they're famous for aspirin, so it was really popular. They claimed it was non-addictive, and it was an alternative to morphine, and they even used it as a cough suppressant. So I think it's very interesting that they thought it was so benign back then. And now here in 2025, we have a great opioid epidemic across the country. And I just find that comparative to other substances that we thought may have not been bad, but are now causing addictions and deaths across the country as well. So, yep, that's it for me.